Hi, last week we began a series on responding to life's challenges, and we observed that whereas you and I may not be able to choose the circumstances that come our way, we sure can choose how we respond to them. We observed from the book of James the way, instead of outlining things we should do, places we should go to, the first thing that James calls upon his audience who was scattered on account of persecution was to choose their attitude. That attitude is a choice that you and I can make, can choose to have in the face of challenging situations. We continue with this series, and today we look at the next aspect that you and I require to carry us through life's challenges. My name is Kuchio from CITAM ChurchOnline, and I invite you to join me as we journey through this series on responding to life's challenges. Now, the Bible does tell us in James chapter 1 from verse 2 to 4, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." I submit to you that the second key ingredient that you and I need to carry us through challenging situations of life is that word perseverance. Perseverance. Some would call it long suffering. Now, James Stockdale was an American naval officer who got captured as a prisoner of war and spent 8 years in the dreaded Hanoi prison, which later became to be known as the Hanoi Hilton in Vietnam. Upon his return to the US, he was awarded a Medal of Honor for surviving the Hanoi Hilton experience, 8 solid years of torture. When asked how he made it while others died, he gave what I consider a very sobering insight. He said, "The optimistic ones are the ones who died." James Stockdale reckoned that those who were captured and expected an immediate release soon sank into despair and depression. But those who survived were those who were willing to wait out this torturous experience. They were willing to survive. They were willing to persevere. You may wonder, what is perseverance? Perseverance can be defined differently and severally, but the best definition I came across is that perseverance is the continued effort to do or achieve something despite difficulties, failure, or opposition. It presupposes that you and I will run into difficulties, failures, and opposition. But when we continue steadfastly in that path of doing something, we are able to persevere and we are able to actually overcome life's challenges. So perseverance is an important aspect. Going back to James Stockdale's situation in Vietnam, it is not that optimism was a wrong attitude to have. But in this particular circumstance, optimism gave rise to false expectancy. And you see, there are people who go through life thinking they're optimistic, but particularly when it leads to false expectations, it can easily lead to despair, despondency, discouragement, and even depression. But those who are determined and willing to persevere are those who will take a day at a time. You see, God has given us sufficient grace for today. He has not invited us to be worried about tomorrow. You see, at times optimism gives us a false expectation of tomorrow, and we begin worrying, wondering, how will my tomorrow be? How will my business be tomorrow? How will my health be tomorrow? How will the church be tomorrow? How will my relationship be tomorrow? God has not called us to be worried about tomorrow. He has granted us grace sufficient for the day. You see, when you begin worrying about tomorrow, when you begin so obsessed about tomorrow and tomorrow's happenings, it robs you the grace for the moment. And consequently, you lose out on perseverance, which is an integral aspect and ingredient that you need to respond to life's challenges. The Apostle Paul would say this in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. You see, joy is a choice just as much as perseverance is a choice. And I call upon you to choose the path of perseverance, because they who are prepared to suffer long will endure the situation, because these too shall come to an end. You need to persevere. The Lord bless you richly. My name is Kuchio. Please get in touch with us. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to our channels, to our pages, and we'll surely get back to you in the quickest time possible. The Lord bless you richly.